Hello, all, and welcome back to Wake Up with Marci. I'm so excited about meeting Elizabeth Sutton and hearing her story. I also cannot wait to share about her Mother's Day card download that she is offering on her website. All the money raised will go to City Harvest in New York City. All right, guys, let's meet Elizabeth. Hello, Elizabeth. Thank you so much for coming on Wake Up with Marci.
Thank you so much for having me on today. I'm truly honored.
Well, tomorrow is Mother's Day, and I'm so honored to have you on as such an empowering mother and businesswoman, entrepreneur, philanthropic force. And so I wanted to share a little bit about your story. But first of all, I just want to say the artwork behind you is beautiful, and I know that's all of your creations.
Yes, they are. I'm an artist, designer, and entrepreneur, and I have been seldom coming to my studio during quarantine, but if you didn't want to hear two screaming little children in the background, I'm here, and I figured why not give everybody a little bit of colorful life.
So Elizabeth, I wanted to share a little bit about your story because it is so inspiring. And I know you went through some hardships about 4 or 5 years ago. So if you could share those with us and empower the women to find strength, I would appreciate that.
So I'm a mother to two incredible children, Miro and Nora, 5 and 3 years old, and I completely reinvented myself. 4.5 years ago, I picked up a paintbrush for the first time ever after going through hardship. I had a lot of loss in 2 years within a matter of, to backtrack a little actually, born and raised in New York. I grew up a modern Orthodox Jew. I got married very young. I got married at 21 years old. And I wanted to be a housewife. I wanted to be a mother, even though I was always a good student. I studied marketing and finance. I didn't really have career goals. I had a very privileged lifestyle. And it was not until I went through a lot of loss in a very short amount of time. We lost our money. I lost my friend. My marriage started to crumble. I had a miscarriage. I ended up getting divorced with a 3-week-old baby and a 2-year-old son. And unfortunately, to top that off, my assistant and one of my closest friends was killed in my car, leaving my birthday party, all in front of the world. And this was all really the very, very beginning of my career. I'm completely self-taught. I had no formal training, not in painting and not in owning or running a business. I didn't have capital. I got divorced in 6 weeks, if that says anything about the speed at which I left. Okay. My parents had a very traumatic divorce. I don't speak to my father because of it. And I didn't want my children to experience that. So when I got divorced, my number one priority was to protect my children from sometimes the harm that divorce can bring and turmoil that can bring to their lives. And thank God I have the most beautiful divorce. It doesn't mean that I don't want to kill my ex sometimes, but he and I are able to be around each other. He joins my family for holidays. He's in my sister's apartment right now where I am quarantined, hanging out with my kids. We're in the same room. So I'm very blessed for that.
Yes.
I worked super hard. I had no choice also, right? I needed to get independent and get on my own and figure out a way to get on my own 2 feet because I had to go. I wasn't happy and I had to come to the realization that it wasn't the right marriage for me.
So I know you went through so much trauma, but I am so grateful to hear your story and that you were able to get through your divorce amicably and learn a lesson from your parents and break a cycle and put your children first. That's what's so wonderful is when we can actually learn from what our parents have done. But let's talk about you picking up the paintbrush and deciding that that is what you wanted to do. Where did that come from?
First of all, it came from God. I must say it came from God. I think it's a God-given talent, but I love what I do. I'm passionate about what I do. My work is very colorful. Clearly, I had a lot of darkness in my life. I express myself through color. When I first found this talent, I thought my work was just decorative. And as my career grew and I delved deeper into the artist that I am, I definitely heal myself through my work. My process is very meditative. I also try and use my work as my voice to express my beliefs, my opinions. I have my idiom series that has Keep It Moving, Making Money Moves, Dance Through the Pain, Art Heals All Wounds, Blessing in Disguise, This Too Shall Pass, and they are reminders for me. So yes, for sure.
Well,
on that feeling.
So you have a message with each piece of art that you have. And I know that you had said that your assistant passed away, and that was very difficult for you. But that, if I understood you correctly, that triggered for you a process, and you created a certain artistic line in his honor or in his name. Is that correct?
I mean, I do so much in his honor. Honestly, after it happened, I raised money on GoFundMe for his daughter who he left behind and for my other assistant who was in the accident, and through my social media. So it was all of them. We raised $38,000. But more than that, I feel like I just need to Pedro was back on my team, my assistant who survived. They were best friends growing up in Cuba. And I feel like we just need to get places with my work. We spread the good vibes with my art. My art is beautiful.
It's so beautiful. I love the piece behind you. Wasn't that Kim Kardashian had that? Is that the piece?
Courtney has one of my pieces.
Oh, Courtney
has one of my pieces. Mickey Minnie, not this one, but she has a different Mickey Minnie. But we really try and spread good energy with our art. And Juan was a real, true artist, professionally trained back in Cuba. And I know he'd be very proud. It also, like, my way of coping with life and trauma when I'm having hard times is just to dive into my work. It's really my coping mechanism. And after the accident happened, I was pretty messed up and traumatized. And
art is so therapeutic. Yeah.
It brought me back to life. I chased a big deal with Joe and the Juice. It was my first big, brand name licensing deal. And that collaboration helped me heal.
So speaking of your art, you have, of course, the art pieces that you make. You are launching a wallpaper line. You have your tiles have won awards, and now you have a line of jewelry and purses and really, really beautiful things. Again, I'd love for you to show one of your purses if you have it right there.
I do.
With a piece of your art and a message.
I have a lot going on. I try and translate, because my art is my true passion of all the things that I do. You mentioned I do wallpaper, tile. All my designs in my tile and my wallpaper, they're derivatives from my artwork. And so I try and translate my art into all my designs, represent those strong, positive messages. Even from the packaging, I take some of my, most inspired artwork so that you have a message from my overall brand. And I really think it creates the overall story of what my brand represents and my product represents, which is about empowering others, especially women.
So that leads me to your newest venture, and that is a Mother's Day coloring book that you offer, and with note cards, and that is to raise money for City Harvest. Is that correct?
Yes. So my team and I, because I didn't do it alone, and my team is working basically for free. Okay. We launched 5 downloadable coloring cards for Mother's Day. We had launched 3 coloring books for free. We said it's time to raise money. I'm born and raised in New York. New York is so sad right now. It breaks my heart. And New York needs our help. I'm not kidding. So, and also stay home. If you can't go buy a card, this is the perfect way to occupy your kids, get out some of your own creative outlets, raise money for a good cause, and cheer up some spirits. I have launched 5 cards available for purchase for $3.50 each, or for a bundle of 5 for $15. 100% of the proceeds go to City Harvest New York, which go to feed hungry New Yorkers. Schools are closed now. A lot of families depend on public school systems to feed their children. Many of these people are now unemployed. So 100% of the funds go to City Harvest. And I really am hoping to raise a lot of money. So I hope some of you viewers out there go to support the cause.
I love it. Mm-hmm. Well, you are doing so many things. I just want to make sure, what's the website?
Go to www.elizabethsuttoncollection.com. And if you go to my coloring books section, you'll find them.
And also, you are so transparent within your social media reach too. And I know that that is so helpful, that people can, and women especially, like you said, can be empowered through your messages that you provide on Instagram. And I just want to say congratulations to everything that you're doing and the women that you're helping, and bringing your creativity to the world, because creativity and music, all of these beautiful things are what we really need right now to lift our spirits. So thank you.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. You can follow along every day at Elizabeth Sutton Collection on Instagram. I cook on my blog. I have a lifestyle blog on my website. So keep up there. And I'm super excited to see you after this is all over, I hope.
Yes, absolutely. And thank you again, Elizabeth. I can't wait to see your beautiful studio.
Thank you so much for having me. Happy Mother's Day to everybody. Happy Mother's Day. Good vibes. Take a drink for yourself. Run away from your kids today.
Exactly. Happy Mother's Day to you, Elizabeth, and stay safe there in New York City.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you all for tuning in. Next week, we will meet Larissa Wohl. She will share helpful tips for pet owners during this time, and Dr. Joel Gator-Warsh. We will focus on children and how they are being affected during isolation. I want to wish you all a very happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next weekend. And remember, if you want to find out more about Wake Up with Marci, check out my website at wakeupwithmarci.com. All right, guys. Bye-bye.